Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Cardo G9 Bluetooth communicator. At first glance, we've seen the Cardo G4 do really well. This is the next step up. I consider it a bit of a baby step. It's a refinement over the G4 with some new features. Similar price point you're looking at for the single unit, over $250, and for a dual unit just over the $400 range, but really one of the more premium, more functional units on the marketplace. The first thing you need to know is that this has been the top selling unit of the last few years, or rather, Cardo's been the top selling brand. So if you think about the retro connectivity, folks that have G4s, folks that are using Schuberth SRC systems, Cardo provides that OEM fitment for those guys. You're going to have the widest range of potentially hitting up your friends if you get this unit, because there's a good chance that they're already going to have a Cardo if they're using Bluetooth. Now, I will say the new key features for the G9 over the G4. The first one is the pairability. So while you can still talk to 4 people at one time in a full duplex conversation, both listening and broadcasting, you can pair now with up to 8 people. They call it the 1+8, so a total of 9 riders daisy chained. The other nice part about this is now that there's a Cardo website to where you could always plug in. Your charger is also your USB firmware upgrade that would connect to the unit itself. Now you can configure those other 8 riders. So using the new feature called flash pairing, which is just like an iPhone, it's bump pairing, where you bump them together, they're going to quickly pair, you pop onto your computer, and you could say, okay, unit 1 is John, unit 2 is Sally, if you know a John and Sally that you ride with that also have units, and as you're riding down the road, you could say, speak to John. You could immediately activate the fact that you want to do a one-to-one conference with one of the other pre-programmed pair riders, voice activated within your system. That's a new feature. The other new standout feature for this year is that besides coming with the wired mic, the speakers are now a little bit thicker, they're a little bit more crisper, they're still stereo, and you also have a slimmed down and more receptive boom. So the new boom style is going to do a better job at crisply picking up your voice, but it's going to be a little bit lower profile, so it's going to stay out of the way. A nice touch. And me personally, for the helmet that I'm going to use all of the time with the unit I'm going to use primarily, I love the idea of the ability to replace the boom mic that we see here with a wired mic that has a sticky that just stays out of the way, and you never have to fiddle with the booms. Personally though, I do like the fact when the boom, like on the G9 here, comes off the unit itself, that way you do have the ability to easily move it. As you can see, I have a G9 installed here. You have the 2 wires, one to each ear to the speakers, and it comes off the main unit. There's a sticky mount, there's a clamp mount that we're using here, and the unit itself is very easy to pull off as well. So let me see here. Remember how to do it. There we go. And I have not spent a ton of time riding in the G9, but I've ridden in the G4 extensively. I actually did Alaska in a G4. I find that once you learn the system, there's a little bit of learning curve because there's about 6 different buttons. It's easy to use, but sometimes with a big, bulky, heavy glove, for extreme winter conditions, sometimes if you're just getting used to the system, you might be fumbling around a little bit. But again, it's nice to have the voice talk system now, or where you can speak to it directly. It's also nice that it's A2DP, where you can go forward and back in your music. You can also tell it music on, music off. It's not, though, going to tell you caller ID. It's not going to read the text to type to you when somebody calls in. So again, ways in which Cardo can improve the unit for the next iteration or next firmware update. Wouldn't it be great if when Sally or your mom calls you on the phone, it says call from home, call from mom. Some of the other units on the market, like the Interphone, do that, but Cardo again is making some improvements here moving forward. That's one of the ways that I could see them going. So again, similar functionality with the G4. The G9 is going to work with the G4. Other standout feature here on the new G9, longest talk time in the industry, up to 13 hours on a single charge. You have over 7 days of standby time. It does have the antenna that can be put up so you can get about a mile range. And remember, you can connect to up to 8 different people besides yourself, but only talk and listen, in a conference mode to 4 different people. 2 Bluetooth pairings at the same time, so you're going to have an A2DP audio source like a iPod Touch, something along those lines, and then you get 1 mobile phone or GPS to link in as well. And the priority is always going to go to that mobile phone or GPS, secondarily to the conference ability on this guy. So again, it is waterproof. Notice how the unit comes off very easily. This is how you would charge it. One of my gripes with the G4 in the past is that sometimes it took a couple minutes to pair these guys. Now with the new flash pairing, you just bump them together. Another really nice touch. So remember, everything's going to come in the box that you're going to need. The sticky mount, the clamp mount, the additional microphone kit, the tools that you need to do the hex screws that are going to allow you to tighten it on. Again, it's all there. Installation on these guys keeps getting easier and easier, and the fact that the boom is connected to the mount makes it really simple. But also for those of you out there that have a G4 that want the improved audio kit with the new speakers and a new style boom, it's about a $50 upgrade, but you can save yourself the extra cost of completely upgrading to the new unit, which is nice as well. And remember, there's a whole website with software now that allow you to plug in and work on the unit and actually configure it via a graphical user interface versus clicking around on the buttons, which is a nice feature. Let us know what you think of the new G9. If you're seeing it for the first time, if you're currently riding it, if you wore a G4 and you're curious about the specs, ask us questions, leave us comments on RevZilla TV on our YouTube page, on Facebook, or on our website. We're always here. You can also shoot our Gear Geeks a line at cs@revzilla.com, 877-792-9455. As always, it's over $39. It ships for free, exchanges for free, no restock fee if you need to send it back, as long as it's in brand new condition with all the packaging. And you can earn TeamZilla cash on any order over $100 to be applied to your next order at RevZilla.com. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown of the new Scala Rider G9 system, new for 2012, the successor to the G4, available at RevZilla.com. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.